Kakadosh Boker Or Bekiim Bahalacha 2, Siman 1, day 18. Right? We're in the middle of Halacha Nun Zayin, where it says some people observe the practice of reading the Ketoret from a handwritten text inscribed on a parchment by a professional scribe. This, according to a number of Achronim, is said to be an auspicious practice, bringing wealth to those who observe it. Nevertheless, according to Maran, in the Shulchan Aruch, it is forbidden to write individual verses in this manner. Since Sephardic Jews have accepted the rulings of Maran, it is incorrect to write the passages of the Ketoret on a parchment. An Ashkenazic scribe may write them. However, since Ashkenazic Jews rely upon the Rabbi Yitzchak al-Fasi, permitted it. If someone possesses such a parchment, even if it was written by a Sephardic scribe, he still may use it to recite the Ketoret. Meaning, if it's already done, you could still use it. No, we're going to see... okay, maybe the footnote he's going to bring down. According to Shtat Rav Ovadia said that you have to do it the way that we have it on the wall. Pay attention to the wall. They separated it, like a few words. It's not like all like this. He separated like this and going downwards, not across. You'll see it when you go outside. Just pay attention. It's done in a certain... That means the psukim, not the mishnayot. The mishnayot, you can do whatever you want. But it's the psukim part, okay, of it. Okay? So 54. It says, reading the Ketoret from a text, handwriting on parchment. Kavrim Falache, cited the Mishpat Sere, explaining that it's commendable to write the passage right to the Ketoret parchment in square letters, right? Which means like the way that you do it in the Torah. And to read the Ketoret from parchment each day. This practice should help to bring wealth and prosperity, just as we are taught that the act of offering a Ketoret brought wealth to the Kohen. He repeated this in the Ruach Chaim. The original source for this practice is in the Seder Hayom, authored by Rabbeinu Moshe ben Makir, a contemporary of Maran of Yosef Karo, right? If I remember correctly, I think he also wrote like a midrash and everything. Yakuta Makiri or something. There's like a whole thing. He emphasized the importance of writing the passage of Ketoret on parchment and to read the text in the morning and afternoon. He guaranteed its effectiveness. This was repeated in the Ma'avadia book, and this is the common practice in many communities. Right? What about writing one section of the Torah? The Rishon LeZion noted, however, that this practice seems to counter the rulings of Maran. And Yoredea Maran rule: one must not write any portion of the Torah on a parchment by itself. Likewise, one may not write a portion of the Torah for a child to study. This follows the ruling of the Rambam, based on the Talmud on Giltin Daf Samech Amud Aleph. Abaya asked Rava whether it is permissible to write a single section of the Torah for a child to study from, and Rava replied that it is prohibited. Okay, so one second. Rabbeinu Yitzchak al-Fasi, however, ruled that it's permitted to write a single section of the Torah. Rabbeinu Asher and Rabbeinu Nisim challenged this ruling, since it directly contradicts the Gemara. In the Bet Yosef, Maran reconciled the Rabbeinu Yitzchak's ruling, explaining that Rabbi Yochanan and Shakish disagree with the Rabbah concerning this matter. Their position is that in our times, it is necessary to permit the text, so that Torah knowledge will be perpetuated throughout our exile. They apply the principle of Et la'asot Hashem heferu toratecha. It's a time to take action for God, so we ignore your laws. Meaning sometimes we need to, close our eyes in order that we should fulfill the Torah mitzvot. That's why we write Torah Shebal Peh. Nowadays, why is Gemara written? Why is Mishnah not written? It's Torah Shebal Peh. Bal Peh means it has to be oral. But if you didn't have it orally, everyone would forget it already. Right? So despite this defense of Rabbeinu Yitzchak al-Fasi, Maran rules stringently in the Shulchan Aruch that it's forbidden to write individual texts of the Torah. The Ramah did not comment one way or the other. The Bach, however, complained that the common custom is to be lenient following the ruling of the Rif. The Taz and the Shach and the Bet Hillel all rule leniently as well, as it appears in the opinion of the Chazon Ish. The Rishon LeZion suggestions that we can be lenient as well, especially since Maran highly praised his defense of Rabbi Yitzchak al-Fasi's ruling. He then demonstrated that Rav Chida and Rav Yosef Chaim the Ben Ish Chai also rule. The rule is that whenever the Shulchan Aruch contradicts the rulings of the Bet Yosef, the rulings of the Shulchan Aruch overrides other. In conclusion, the Rishon LeZion, ruled that one should not write the passage of Torah in the parchment, but if one finds it already written, it's permissible to use it. What about an opposing opinion? The response to Tfilah Moshe is that of Moshe Levi. Okay, so he came and he ruled that although Maran ruled that it's forbidden to write individual passages of the Torah, it's permissible to write the Ketoret. To simply write an individual passage is forbidden since it belittles the Torah's honor. But when one writes a Ketoret together with a Braita that explains the practical terms, one's main objective is to study its explanation according to the oral Torah. Since we are permitted in our times to write down the oral Torah, so this is permitted. Meaning the purpose was not to write down the Torah Shebichtav, it was to write down the Torah Shebal Peh, because the Torah Shebal Peh was explaining the Torah Shebichtav. The Sefer Pinchas Yifalel ruled likewise. He demonstrated that the Kabbalists use handwritten prayer books that include individual passages from the Torah If so, it must be the decision ruling of the Maran Shulchan Aruch was never accepted. The Sefer Mizahav Mipaz ruling likewise also as well. Rabbi Zilber pointed out that since the source for the practice of ruling Seder Yom, it adds weight to the Bet Yosef's ruling against that of the Shulchan Aruch. He testified that a copy of the Ketoret on the parchment hangs in the Letterman synagogue in Bnei Brak. It was written in the considered of Chaim Kanievsky, who ruled in the lenient position as well of the Chazon Ish. See also the response to Tshuva Banagot. What about defending Maran Rishon LeZion? Rabbi Yosef upheld the position of Rishon LeZion. He argued that although the Talmud is filled with individual verses of the Torah, those verses are invariably used as part of the teachings of the oral Torah, and therefore it's permitted. The passage of the Ketoret, however, stands by itself. The Braita written following it does not explain the meaning of those psukim, nor does it use those verses to derive any halachot from it as a list. Therefore, we cannot consider the Torah passage as a Ketoret as part of the oral Torah. Regarding the argument of Zilber, that Rishon LeZion saw that Maran chose to rule against the Rif, so the fact that the Seder Yom rule linearly carries no weight against that. Rav Kanievsky ruled linearly because he followed the Ashkenazic poskim, but this does not affect the ruling of the Sephardic Jews that accepted Maran. But what about now using a Ashkenazic scribe, the Sofer? Because if according to the Ashkenazim it's mutar, so therefore they can write it for you. So he says, according to Maran and Rishon LeZion, one may not hire a Sephardic scribe to write it. He agreed, however, that Ashkenazic scribes could write it since the tradition follow Ashkenazic poskim. Thus, Sephardic Jews can use handwritten Ketoret written by an Ashkenazic scribe, even if he writes it, right, using the Ashkenazic style and forming letters, right, it is still valid for use for the Sephardic Jews. Sephardic Jews may even use the Torah written in that way, right, in the Ashkenazic style, following the response of the Yechavedat. Okay, the last halacha, 59. The first four ingredients are the only ones prefixed with the letter Hey. The proper text is pronounced the ninth ingredient of the Ketoret, Kosht Shnemasar. Here it says the Kost with a Samech, right? Not Kosht or HaKosht. So let's see what it says here in the footnote. This is the ruling of the Rishon LeZion. Yeah? Citing the Bach. Okay? He found support for this opinion with the Rambam's commentary to Mishnah. Rabbi Mezuz concurred with this as well, adding that the word Kost, and it's not HaKost. Only the first four ingredients which are listed specifically in the Torah are prefaced with the letter Hey, meaning it says, right? So, which means basically what they're trying to say is that the first one says Hatzori, Hatzipor, and Hechal bena ve'alevona. So all four have Hey, because it comes from the Torah. Then it just says Mor Tzia na. So then number 9 is a Kosht Shnemasar. Here he's saying don't put the Hey, and it's Kost, not HaKosht. Now the truth is though that I have the Sefer here of Aram Tzova Kol Yaakov, and they do like the Moroccan minhag as well. It's HaKosht Shnemasar. So we also do it like that, which means we do the Hey and we do with the Shin and not the Sin. So he says only the first four ingredients which are listed in the Torah have the Hey, although the Sefer Libi Er, according to the Nishulim, the correct version is HaKost. Right? The Likud Yosef wrote that also misinterpreted his ruling. Okay, so there's machlok what shitat even Rav Ovadia, right? In that case, but we do for sure do it in this way. Have a wonderful day.